Okay, let's get that set. Let's get that set. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, let's make sure this is on here. Okay, what's up, everybody? In today's video, all right, I got a quick little list here. I don't usually make videos on Mondays, but here I am, girl. Here I am. I have been quite busy this morning. I have shit all over my shirt from the barn, and I don't know if my cat is going to calm down here. We might need to put him on a timeout in a second, but here's to trying. I don't really know where to start off, so I think we'll start off with getting him out of here. Yes, Mr. Oscar. All right, sorry about that. Okay, I think we're going to start off with some gay little astrology, and that's going to take us into the rest of the conversations. So as I've been gay babbling about for like a week, we have this Mars-Venus conjunction that's approaching Pluto. I think we're about 2 degrees away now at this point, and then they together will go into Aquarius at 0 degrees, which is going to be crazy. I know for me, the astrology has been very IRL, especially this whole Pluto part of it. Even just this morning, I was leaving my house to go to the barn. I'm turning onto the road, and then like half of a country block down the road, there's literally a car with its hazards on, perpendicular in the road. Okay, so I'm like, what the heck? And I noticed it doesn't have either of its wheels. I'm like, what the heck? There's another car that looks like it had stopped to make sure that they were okay. I kind of just like went around them, but I hope they're okay. I've had crazy other experiences in my family this weekend of people, you know, being pulled through the ringer. So please take care of yourselves out there. This Pluto energy is not a joke. So why I bring up the astrology is because I just need to complain for a second. All right. So I would say it took about a year and a half for the astrological and spiritual communities to suss out the whole fake kukarachi, the whole fake pancake, all of that nonsense. It took them a while, but they ended up getting there, not like other communities online. They ended up getting there, and they're staunchly anti-kukarachi and all of that, okay? But then this Ukraine thing happens, and I was complaining about this yesterday on the live stream. The Ukraine thing happens, and all of a sudden they just lock, stock, and barrel, and just like that, they are out there protesting, and there's the Ukrainian flag in their bio, and it's all these tears, and I stand with Ukraine, and pray for Ukraine, and all of that bullshit. All right, and this is why, and I bring this up because these people, like so many people around me, are so fucking weak. Okay, they give their mind, they give their consciousness away just like that, and they think that they're like smarter than any sort of demagogue out there or something. And I don't get it. I don't get how every one of these fucking communities are always behind. Oh, it's so frustrating, because every single one of these people in the astrological spiritual communities, they're all like, again, I'm standing with Ukraine and praying for peace, just praying for peace, and war, it's so horrible, and they're like on a fucking island, either in Australia or the Galapagos or something, and they have all of this sentiment towards a country and a people they have never been to, never will go to. They have no idea what they're talking about. And oh God, it's just like, okay. And all these people who are all, like sympathetic to all these truckers and what's going on in Canada and all of that. And then just like that, all of that narrative is just, swept right out the door, and it's onto this Ukraine bullshit, So it's like these people, their focus, their concentration, all of that, they are just at the mercy of, and I think it really has to do with these people being on social media and spending so much time online. I I've shared my thoughts on social media before, but I think it really does sort of give away your own sort of free will in some sense, because it really does seem to alter your behaviors and sort of artificially supplant these sort of things that you're supposed to care about. I'm like, what's going to happen when something does happen that you really are supposed to care about? Where is all this light and love energy going to be then? Because I don't think it's going to be anywhere to be found. And it's just, again, it's just so frustrating, and again, um, the North Node's in Taurus now, so I have no problem sort of reevaluating what things, what Taurian type things are happening, whether it's like economy based or all the Taurus things, But these crypto communities, the Tartarian communities going in this direction, they're like, we just need to get some, we need to get on the cryptocurrency board train. We need to get some NFTs going. We really need to take command of this new Earth economy. Somehow I got lost, but when did New Earth turn into cryptocurrency and NFTs? And these people are like, oh, we got to get back to nature. We love nature so much. But these people, they have the same false sense of virtue, just like the climate change people do. And I feel like I'm running into the same fucking window everywhere I go. It's just, I'm not expecting everyone to be perfect, but it's like, can't people see through this shit? And the Tartaria, I love them so much, but again, they're very anti-white. They are slaves to the whole anti-white narrative, and it's so frustrating because now all these women are like involved, and all these women are part of these like group conversations, and these conversations don't go anywhere, and they won't go anywhere. Call me a cynic, call me an asshole, I don't really care. But the whole Tartarian thing, Sonia and a few others aside, that was all like white male led. It is, and now all these women are there, and that's great, and we love them so much. And of course, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, I don't need to go into a whole anti-woman talk right now because I actually wanted to have an anti-man conversation at some point today. But I just want to like tie up this false virtue bullshit. It's just like for the past 2 years, it's like Master said he's sick, so I said yes, Master. Now Master says we're at war, and I said yes, Master. It's just like the servant class, the servile slaves that they'll scream freedom at you. They'll be screaming freedom and how much they want freedom at you as they're like filming you with their smartphone, and it's just like freedom. I feel so alone. I can't even tell you, and all this Piscean energy is just, the escapism and the addiction. And I'm trying so hard to make proactive steps forward. And it's so hard not to just like retreat back into my nice, cozy little cave because it's so frustrating. All these people that like, I don't know. It's a bunch of brain dead retards out there. And the men, like I said, gosh, what to say about men these days? I would say 90% of men are losers. They're just losers. They're weak. They have no sense of self-respect, no sense of integrity. They're just weak people. They're losers. They're dishonest. And the fact that you can call them men, I don't really know. So, okay, that's the first little rant over with. I got that out of my system. I already feel better. I was listening to, at the gym this morning, No White Guilt, who we love so much. He was talking and reviewing AFPAC, and I agreed with a lot of the things that he had to say about the whole thing. The whole Marjorie Taylor Greene thing is still confusing. Marjorie Taylor Greene, huffing it up there with her arms, her exposed arms going up there. And Jason kept going off about like how much he can't stand her voice. And I was like, I didn't even think about that part. But I think in the long run, having MTG there is probably a genius move. But I didn't really understand. I don't really know how well Jason, is that his name from No White Guilt? He's fabulous. We love him. I don't know how well him and Nick Fuentes seem to get along. I think because they're in somewhat adjacent fields that I would assume they get along. But I don't know. It's hard because He was talking about Jason was talking about whitepeoplepress.com. I had never heard of this. And I think it's called White People Quarterly. It seems to be like a white people magazine or some sort of publication. And I was sort of like poking around in it. And I think it'd be fun to write for something like this. But I feel like there's this like dichotomy in like the white spheres where it's either like this like super um, is pretentious the right word? But they talk about all of this like high art and all of this stuff, this different stuff, you know. And then there's like the American First crowd, which is much more like realistic about like how people live their day to day lives. And I don't know if those two things are ever going to be able to reconcile each other. And maybe that's where the disconnect between Jason and America and Nick Fuentes goes. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making sense right now. But like I said, they were talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they're like, "What was she doing there?" And I didn't realize that she also then the next day went and spoke at CPAC, and I was like, "Oh boy." The first thing I look at is her arms, you know, and she's not like fat or she's not obese or anything like that, but that's the first thing I always look at as I'm like, what those arms, Marjorie. La 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 la. Okay, where should we go next? Oh, here's one. So children and the smartphone or iPads or whatever you want to call it. So it seems to be, from what I am understanding, and no shade or no judgment to all the parents out there. Um, I do not have children yet, so I don't know what it is like raising children in 2022. But I'm just going to make a little bit of comment here because I'm noticing something that must, on some level, be so psychologically um, like such a mind fuck is when so everyone in the family has some sort of smart device, whether it's their phone or a tablet or something, and they're on them 100% of the time, just like everyone else in this fucking world is. Okay, but then you have a much younger generation, and they only seem to get like the tablet when they're being a good boy or girl. It's like if anything goes wrong, that's the first thing is we're going to take the tablet away or we're going to take the phone away. You're not behaving. We're going to take the phone away. And then what must that be like as a young child? Who is just everyone around them is addicted to their smart devices, and so you're sitting there engaging with these smart devices just like everyone else is, but when you do something bad, you get it taken away from you, and now you are in a reality much like my own, which is so challenging to be in, where everyone around you is on their smart device and you're just sort of sitting there like, I guess I'll just talk to myself like I always do, and as a young child, um, I don't know. I can't imagine that having a smart, device in the first place being healthy, but then this sort of like give and take based on your performance and behavior. I don't think that's healthy at all, and I think that's creating like a very very strange addiction pattern in the long run, probably. But that must be so fucked as a young kid. Like I'm imagining like myself at like 10, 11 years old, and I'm on like this iPad, and just doing what everyone else is doing with their, black mirrors in front of them. And now I'm acting out and I'm talking back, and suddenly, I'm cut off from this world that everyone else is addicted to in front of me, and they're making all kinds of bad choices. But they still have their tablet. So does this make sense? I was just thinking about that this weekend because I was sitting at a restaurant and these parents were like screaming at the kids, and then they like ripped their phones away from them, and then like their parents are just sitting there on their phones expecting the kids to somehow generate this great conversation and just behave, as the parents are just sitting there on their phones scrolling through Instagram, looking at pictures of other parents posting pictures of them and their kids as if they're so. Okay, I think we said enough there. La 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 la. Where is the internet sad girl in 2022? So I was watching this little commentary on the Tumblr girl back in like 2010, 2011. Just like the internet sad girl. And I was that person. over a decade ago now. I still use Tumblr. I love Tumblr so much, but Tumblr, 10 years ago compared to what it is now is really not necessarily the same thing. But Tumblr, it really seemed to, this type of personality would really gravitate towards Tumblr, and Tumblr at the time would sort of romanticize self-destruction in a way. Um, and this whole concept of like the lonely doll and like all of this sort of like Tumblr stuff. And I just wondering, like in 2022, where is the internet sad girl? Like is she on TikTok? Where is she? I doubt she's still on Tumblr, so I would assume she's on TikTok. But that's what I wanted to ask: is where is the internet sad girl in 2022? The little commentary I was listening to on this, they were super leftist, and they had said a quote that I wanted to uh, talk about now, which is sad girls are expected to be beautiful or they're not really sad girls. Um, yeah, I'm gonna read that again. Sad girls are expected to be beautiful or they're not really sad girls. So they were saying that unless a girl is pretty, their sadness isn't taken seriously. I don't know if that is true or not, but uh people just like really don't understand emotion is what I'm sort of getting at there. But yeah, internet sad girl 2022, where is she? Um da, 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 da. Oh, so I'm realizing that I need gay friends. I need some queer as fuck friends in my real life. I am so grateful and so blessed to have so many great relationships in my life, but I'm realizing that I really, really, really need to attract some queer people. Um, they don't necessarily have to be gay, but I need to make friends with people that don't take their identity so seriously and don't take themselves so seriously. And I know the whole rainbow agenda sort of changed a lot of that. But if there are any like queers out there, I can't believe this is where I am right now. Um, that see through all that agenda, that still have like a sense of humor, and they still have a personality, and they still are able to like joke with themselves, and they're able to like they aren't insecure, and they're able to like get out of their own head and like talk about certain things or act certain things out without you know being so tied to their identity and like, oh my gosh, what will people think about me you know I need some gay friends. I do. I really do. And like again, no shade to anyone, because I love you all so much, and you accept your friends for who they are and not who you want them to be. But I need some gay friends. I do. I really do, and not like the religious, like ex-gay type friends. I need people who are just like not insecure, I guess. And the reason I bring this up is because I was listening to someone talk about this one drag. Oh, this is so good. So this is a conversation about Kanye West and drag queens. So this person was talking about how this drag queen that they know, and this drag queen is like in their 40s or 50s or something now, and this drag queen has like children because like way back in the day, this drag queen had gotten married to a woman, and is still I think in this relationship with women. I'm not really sure, but back then sexuality and identity and all of that stuff wasn't like it is right now. Um, but they were saying how this drag queen, before they realized they were a drag queen, and he's trying to get married, he's trying to have children, and so this person, like on the wedding day, he like did his wife's makeup. He did his wife's hair. He picked out the dress. He picked out the flowers. He did all the decorating for the wedding, and he did like all this different stuff. And then like years later is like an out and out drag queen. And someone was comparing that energy to Kanye West. And I think they nailed it. So basically, this person is saying that Kanye West is like that gay transvestite husband. And honestly, it's the accuracy, the gay transvestite husband energy that Kanye West brings to the table. Oh my god, yeah, and it kind of makes sense. He's a little bit peculiar, and he's like all into that design stuff, and he loves to do his what? Well, I don't know if they're married anymore, but like loves to do the girls' makeup and like pick out their outfit and and like create the whole thing and do the decorating. I don't know. Maybe Kanye West is going to do some drag performances eventually. I'm not really sure, but I thought that was a pretty good connection there. Um, the next thing is another movie trailer. This was I think trailer number two because I believe I saw the first one of this, but the next Fantastical Beasts and Where to Find Them um, movie comes out. I think April. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. These movies are they're trash. They're trash, and now especially because they go in this whole like very sort of like Nazi narrative, anti-white sort of diversity everywhere type of world. They it looks like they put a whole bunch of more like Asian characters in this one, which I like. We had Cho Chang, I don't know. Anyways, the Fantastic Beasts series, the next installment in this series. I don't know if it's going to be the final one, but it's like the Secrets of Dumbledore or something. And I was watching the trailer, and the trailer looks like it could be. I don't know. It's so hard to tell. So hard to tell. I'm really just like sort of waiting for whenever, if it's in this film or the next one or sometime down the road, whenever this big battle between Dumbledore and Grindelwald is supposed to happen. Um, it looks like, based on the trailer, that it might be happening in this film. I'm not really sure, but it looks like Grindelwald was recast. If you guys don't know, Johnny Depp played him in the last film, and everyone distanced themselves from Johnny Depp prematurely because we all saw how that ended with Amber Heard and all of that. So he was sliced out of the Fantastic Beasts series. They recast his character, and it says it's like only in theaters or something. I don't know if I'll go to a theater or just try to find it online, but I will probably watch the Fantastic Beasts movie. Just to see sort of how it's going. But I was the trailer looked kind of like but maybe with some special effects they'll be able to do something cool with it. I'm not really sure. Okay, before we get to the next part, let me just catch up on some of these comments. Oh my gosh, there are so many. I don't even know if I can read all of these. I'm just going to start from the bottom. I'm sorry. KK Westbury. Parents have been doing that for generations. They took away TV or dessert or going out. That's true. That's very, very true. But you weren't watching. You weren't like glued to your TV screen 24/7. You weren't eating dessert 24/7. You weren't like, being grounded. Of course, that's. I'm not talking about there's no like retribution. I'm not saying not to like punish your kids or have any type of sort of like authority like that. I'm talking about specifically the smart devices. Okay, not the TV. You take away the TV, yeah, go ahead, rip that off the wall or something. I'm talking about the smartphones, the smart devices that everyone's addicted to, and everyone around you is using all of the time. And now you take it away from a kid, and like, I don't know. I just think it's weird. I think it's really weird. I don't even know why kids even have access to this stuff, And then on the other hand, they complain about like, oh, child's access to pornography, and I'm like, why are they even on? Why do you even have a smartphone? Like it blows my mind. But yes, parents have been punishing children for generations. But KK Westbury, I love you so much. I do. But I'm specifically talking about the Black Mirror. And psychologically that must be so crazy to be like a 7-year-old and then have like your entire family on your smart device, but you can't be on it because I don't know. Try taking the phone away from a 16, 17, 18-year-old girl, and what you'll find out is that their friends have an old burner phone that they will then secretively give to your daughter so that while you think that you've taken the phone away, she's sitting there on some other person's phone on just connected to Wi-Fi and still on Snapchat, all of the stuff. Kids are just as sneaky as they've always been, but the addiction is very real. I think you are the internet sad girl. Jeremy, fuck you. Maybe I am the internet sad girl, honestly. Maybe. I gave the smartphone up. It's rough for like a month, but so worth it. Rockshot, yes, bitch. I love that. Good for you. I thought we were friends. What the heck? We are friends, Rockshot. What are you talking about? If you wanted some gay friends, you should have gone to AFPAC. Jeremy, yes, you get it. But no, these are not like the type of people at AFPAC that are going to be able to like get out of their own heads and like have like an I am going to yeah. We all know Dumbledore's secret now. Is this the gay thing? How everyone was like, "Oh, Dumbledore's gay" and all of that. I wonder if they're still going to do that narrative. It didn't seem like they were setting it up in the last movie for that, but who knows? Who knows? Anyways, let's go back to the notes I have here. Baby, every me is me, and we are the mask and the wearer. I don't really know why I have that written down, but we'll just go with it. Every me is me, and we are the mask and we are the wearer. This is probably similar to the one you are looking for is the one who is looking and all of that. But it's probably because why did I have this written down here? Yeah, I don't remember. But I guess we'll just, take it into the escapist addict Pisces conversation again. Of just self-betterment, because if this is happening to me, I'm sure it's happening to a lot of other people, and maybe it's not expressing itself in the same exact way, but to all you out there whose intuition is like basically screaming at you that you need to either stop doing something or start doing something, or whatever it is, you know what it is, you all know what it is, and the energy right now, though it's incredibly difficult to do so, the energy is supportive to change, to finally, free up some space so that the God can, bring in the next chapter for you. And that's not going to happen if you're still holding on to all of the old stuff, the stuff that you're like, fuck, I'm still dealing with this. I thought I finished this like 4 years ago, and now here I am, dealing with the same sort of issue. And you got to make space for it, especially with like this whole like Mars Venus thing. Like relationships are huge, and if you're like me who are trying to find and make some new friends, you got to free up the space for it. And all those people, they're there, they're waiting for you, they are right around the corner, but you are never going to get there, if you're still over here dabbling with this old stuff, still having the same old conversations, the same codependent relationships with people, that you're addicted to, addicted to the emotional patterns, so afraid to step out and do something different because you just don't know what it's going to be like, maybe that's why I have that written down. I'm not really sure, but the astrology is thick out there. Okay, is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? I don't think so. I think that's it. I don't know. I haven't. I still like don't watch the news, so I have no idea if that whole Russia thing is still going on. I don't really care either way. Gas prices are still crazy here. They seem to have stabilized over the weekend. There's like, I think we're at like 339, 343. Those are the numbers I'm seeing here. Other news items, I think that what other news items are out there? I don't really know of anything else going on in my little world. Ayo, read the old comments. Okay, Jeremy, I will read the old comments. And then I need to go. Spiritual warfare. Pride leads to stupidity. Yes. KK Westbury, I love you so much. I saw people in Israel protesting Russian occupation in occupied Palestine. Mike Floyd, you get it. Yeah, I think I asked this last week, where is Israel on this. The only comment that I've seen is the one that I think Mr. Ramsey Paul made, who we love so much, and that was that I think Ukraine wanted Israel's like Iron Dome system technology, and Israel was like, no, sorry, we're not going to give you that. Because I haven't heard anything else about Israel. Do you think Israel could take on Russia? And would those two ever go head to head? Because that would be interesting. My parents can't tell me why they don't like Putin. Besides, he's a thug. Yeah, my boomer parents and boomer family have the same sort of insistence that Russia is not good, and they have all these opinions about Russia that are always in the negative. And I'm not saying that they're not true, but they're all opinions that have just been like fed to them. Um, it's the last day of Black History. Oh my, Jeremy, it is. It's the last day of Black History Month. It is the 28th. I assume it's not. Nope, it's not a leap year this year. So tomorrow's the first day of March, which is so crazy. Um, what do they say? Beware the Ides of March. I don't know if that's this week though. Um, aren't the Ides of March like the teens, like the 13th or something? Yeah, March starts tomorrow. That's crazy. So it's the last day of Black History Month. And did we get anything good for the blacks in February? Oh, the BBW Supreme Court Justice. I don't know her name. It's probably like Malika Shwanamanalanga. Should we look it up just for old time's sake? New Supreme Court Justice. I think I've commented before. It's no surprise. Oh, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Oh boy. Okay, let's look at some images here. Woof. Just woof. Yeah. Wow. Ketanji. Is that how you say her name? I keep thinking ketamine, but it's Ketanji Brown Jackson, officially nominated to Supreme Court. Oh God, that is a sad, sad day for this country. Wow. That is the last thing we need is something like that. Of course, it's no surprise that I obviously feel it should just be men on a Supreme Court, but none of that really matters anymore. Damn, she is not what I thought she would be. Ketanji Brown Jackson. Okay, so that's +1 for Black History Month. We got a strong black woman on the Supreme Court. Just a second, you guys. My cat is freaking out. Hello, what are you doing? Can you stop that, please? Okay. I've been hanging out with this cute trans chick, Mike Floyd. I hope the trans chick is going well. I'm taking fentanyl and trespassing on a construction site to celebrate the last day of Black History. Oh, is fentanyl a black people thing, or is that more of like a white heroin type thing, or is it all the same? I'm not really sure. You can only fix yourself. That is true, KK Westbury. You can only fix yourself. The Tartaria stuff is fun, but from the short amount of time I've looked into these people, I knew it wasn't going to go too far. You know, it had a lot of energy, and I'm still very hopeful about the whole Tartaria thing. But yeah, I know it sounds like I'm such an asshole, and I really don't mean it to sound like that. But like, there's a noticeable difference in the quality of the conversation and the level of the quality in the conversation, sort of where the imagination goes. And I'm not, I'm not saying that all of the women involved in the Tartaria stuff are, awful, but it's very obvious to me that that community has hit a wall, which it's not going to be able, in my opinion, move around until it, on a foundational level, gets the whole anti-white thing straight and like the gender part straight, because they're very much, in my opinion, my conspiracy allegedly, they're very much in the sort of like new earth, new age mindset where all of these things don't matter. Race doesn't matter. Ethnicity doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter. They're very much into this plurality of experience and that we're all the same. Yet certain black people are the real people of this land and everyone else is just sort of here. Yeah, there are a lot of things that the Tatar community has to grapple with now that it's gaining has gained more steam. And unfortunately, I don't see any of the women that are involved with it that are going to, unless, the woman part of it, the intuitive, the psychic sort of space, I leave gladly open for the feminine principle. So many women still try to do the man thing, and they pretend to be a man, or they think that they're going to be as good, what they produce is ever going to be as good, and it's just it's sad. It's really sad to see, because these are communities that I was very, very excited about, and put a lot of effort into and a lot of imagination into and held a lot of space for, and now to see it sort of dissolve into what it is now. Again, the NFTs. We just need to come up with a cryptocurrency of our own. And maybe I'm just a total luddite, and I just I guess never say never, and like knock on wood, but I just like don't envision myself. Oh, I don't even want to talk about this because it's probably going to go the exact opposite way that I want it to. But what the hell? I just like don't envision myself. I don't have a smartphone. This whole like NFT things. I couldn't give two shits about NFTs. Okay, why don't you try designing something for our real life that's cool? Why don't you try building a house that isn't so fucking ugly? Like what? Like, what is this fascination with always having to go into this like digital realm of everything, by putting 100% of your imagination and your creativity into this digital currency space? Like, I don't see myself ever getting involved in that. And people are like, oh, you're going to be left behind, why all these other people are making their millions of dollars, as if that has any type of value. This is again the Taurus north node thing that they're just totally ignoring, is the value behind it. Like these NFTs, all this digital stuff, in my opinion, there's no value in it. Yeah, you can pretend, and like if you live in Chicago or Los Angeles or Miami or Philadelphia, where the whole like smartphone real life integration has already sort of happened, maybe it's different then. But for someone like me in my everyday life, crypto is not a thing. NFTs are not a thing, and these people are like they're charging into it as if it's like Klaus Schwab doesn't even have to like literally do anything. Like he just the whole like you will own nothing and be happy. Like that's probably what's going to happen, because these people are literally going to create exactly what he wants, and he doesn't even have to do anything. He can just sit back, in Monte Carlo or St. Thomas or whatever, have a nice cigar and just like watch as all of these sheep just build the new earth for him. And it makes me sick to my stomach just watching these people that I genuinely care about walking like straight into the belly of the beast. Anyways, Serge Bear Trap, I love you. I want MTG as my security show. Yeah, okay, so I'm not the only person that notices the arms, right? And you want to have okay. That's another thing about this whole woman thing. It's like a lot of backtrack. When I was talking to my female friend who was, giving all this praise to the female police chief in Milwaukee, and how she's so strong and how she could beat my ass and all of this stuff. That might be true, I don't know, but when people hire a bodyguard, are you going to hire a woman to protect you, or are you going to hire a man to protect you? And then we get in our heads about this stuff. Well, maybe the right type of woman would be able to. It's just like, no, you don't even have to think about it. That overthinking there is a result of your feminization. Okay, that's what women do. They overcomplicate things. They overthink things over and over and over again, and destroy a situation before it's even happened. And before I have like almost 30 years of anecdotal experience of women that I love doing this over and over and over again, and they can't help themselves because it's just who they are, and we love them for it and we accept them for it. But until we have some genuine self-awareness of the differences between men and women, like really great spaces like the Tartaria one, I think, like I keep saying, they're running into the same walls of going nowhere, because they're I am so alone. Um, Adam Surge is straight, but we love him so much. Yes. Yes, he is. Ides is like the middle of the month, according to my mother. Oh, the Ides of March. Yeah, I think it's like the 13th, isn't it? I don't know if it's like before the 13th or maybe it's not even the 13th. I don't know. Um, Russia stops Israel, US from getting what they want in Syria. Ukraine government been illegit since 2014. Ukraine been shelling Donbas for 5 days, and media pretend that didn't just happen. Russia being nice. See, Rudolf Schmidt, you know I love you so much. Um, yes, everything that you just said. But okay, there's another thing. It's like the Ukraine thing, as if that hasn't been, that contention hasn't been happening for like 10 years. And that's why it just blows my mind that like these huge, and this is all over the globe, you guys. All over the globe, these people just like come out of their houses and they're just like protesting, free Ukraine. And it's just like that, just like that. All of their life is now, all that energy is just like given up and over and out into whatever. They're just, if they would just like stay and focus on their own life and their own house and their own communities, maybe the world would be a better place. But no, they're giving all of their energy just like that to some fucking country on the other side of the world, that they can't even spell. It's annoying. But yes, Russia, the Syria part, all that stuff is like, it's so confusing to me. And I respect anyone who's been able to keep up with it and sort of has that all sort of straight in their heads. But to me, it's just a whole big garbage dump over there. And whatever happens over there, I just really don't care. Fentanyl is colorblind, as far as I know. Yeah, it is, unfortunately, or unfortunately, just the fentanyl stuff sucks. But like, just like the whole porn thing, it's like ban porn, ban drugs, ban it all. You're not gonna get anywhere because there's no self-awareness of the human unconscious and human desire and what human desire can lead you to do and where it takes you. These people are so fucking amateur. Caesar's assassination is the Ides of March. Yes, but when was it like one day or was it a week? I don't remember. July is white people's month. Yes, because July just feels right. Israel never fights its own wars. That is why they love us so much. Does Israel ever fight their own wars? I'm trying to think. Other than their expansionist ideals, to push outwards, do they ever fight in? Did they fight in Afghanistan? I don't remember. I don't think so. Maybe they supplied stuff, but again, that's just, I guess, redistributing what we already gave them because we paid for that, and now they're giving it back to us to use in Afghanistan, or used in Afghanistan. Or actually, it's probably still there because didn't we leave all that stuff in the Kabul airport for them to just do what they want with it? I don't know. I think that's it for today. Yeah, I got through my rants. I got through how alone I feel. Oh, the Fantastic Beasts. Yeah, I think I got everything. I think I got it all out there. But thank you all for great conversation. Rudolf Schmidt, Ukraine does a lot of Biden's dirty laundry and selling more fourth-gen weapons jets to Ukraine. Russia S-400s will shoot them the second they get off the ground. See, that's Rudolf Schmidt. I love you so much. That stuff, I have no idea what you're talking about. No! I just, yeah, all of the warfare and the weapons and all that type of thing. I'm more of like, I'm a country bumpkin. I'm just like point and shoot, or it's like bow and arrow. And that's pretty much the extent of my military expertise at this point in my life. I know I should probably get better at all of that stuff. But like, the fuck if I'm going to sit and learn how to like, take a drone and just sort of like push it through, the deserts of Persia to, hit a target. Like, the hell am I going to ever do that? Fuck. I like the Air Force sounds kind of cool. Like, I like being in, up in the sky, but it's a little claustrophobic for me. and I don't know all the technicalities and the different like weapons and like all that type of stuff. I don't know anything. And I know a lot of people know a lot about that stuff. I know I had a great my AP US history teacher was one of those people that just like know everything about every war and all the different tactics and the battle styles and the uniforms and all of that. And I think that's so cool. But I never really got into it personally. That's what we do every war, even the phony World War II. Look at Japan and Germany now. Um, Japan is Japan part of NATO? I know it's like not in the Atlantic, obviously, but are they part of it just because of like I was saying yesterday with Satya, like this whole thing, if anything, the world, you know, with all their smart devices should be waking up to the fact that we're all just economic zones to these people. It's all about just like they don't care about borders, you know, the border between Ukraine and Russia, they don't give a damn about that. They don't care about the border between Ukraine and Belarus or Moldova or Lithuania, Latvia, all these, they don't care about the borders. It's just about, they don't care about the different ethnicities or cultures or peoples there. They don't care about any of that stuff. It's just economic zones. It's just, you know, can we milk something out of this situation? Is it in our way from getting more milk from somewhere else? You know, it's just dollar signs to these people. And I'm not saying don't make your coin, but I don't know. It's just kind of boring. Like whatever happened to a war, and that's where like Rockshot, if you're still there, you were like, how dare you, you know, sort of sit there and fantasize about what it must be like to be in an imperial country. But from what I understand, all of these wars are never about like, you know, a cultural identity or anything like that. It's always about that bottom line, you know, that dollar and pushing that dollar and squeezing that dollar. That's never like these like passionate wars of just like fighting to get your point across, you know? Like, is that ever going to happen again? Or is it always just going to be about, oh, you know, some sort of Rothschilds? Like, where are the Rothschilds in all of this? Like, whose side are they on? Are they pushing money? Are they giving money to Russia and they're giving money to Ukraine and just sort of betting on who they think is going to win? Like, where are the Rothschilds in all of this? Where's George Soros in all of this? Um, Yeah, those are my questions. No, Japan is not in Na NAFTA. Well, I was going to say NAFTA, NATO. Japan is not in NATO. Okay, good. That would make sense to me. I see we have a fellow APUSH veteran. Yeah, I took like all of the AP classes that I could. And because I went to a private school like K through eighth grade, then went to a public high school, which is the reason why I talk like such a fucking feral. That public high school experience, my God. But public high school was just the bar is so low in public education and in AP classes. Those are like kind of a joke too, looking back. Um, but the idea that they were harder, I don't really know. It's just they give you more information that you have to memorize. But yeah, by sophomore year, I was already in AP classes, and like by junior senior year, it was just everything was AP. We didn't have IB classes. The what is that? The International Baccalaureate stuff. We just had AP. But again, in the public high schools, the bar is so low, and they do nothing to like push the upper students. Like we're just sort of like sitting there, you know, having to sort of like push ourselves, you know, and just sort of make do with ourselves as all of the teachers' focus and all of the teachers' effort and all of their time goes into like propping up these people who are literally retarded. Like their IQs are so low. They do nothing but they sort of like come into school like second period. They reek of weed because you know they were just taking like gravity bongs out of the bathtub at their friend's house before they came sort of like walked into school and they're just sort of like high and aggressive um and then I'm sitting there, you know, the gay little me just trying to like get all straight A's so that daddy loves me. And I'm just like, man, you smell like pot and now I'm distracted. Like, can you just go away? But just like that, then the student would be acting up and then the student and the teacher would get in a fight. And now the teacher, you know, spends 100% of that class time period, you know, taking that student down to the office to have them get, punished by the principal. And the bar is just like continually lowered. So yes, I'm an APUSH veteran. Um, of all the AP classes, I would say AP Art History was my favorite. But then again, the math courses, like the calculus, like AP Calculus BC, was really really interesting. The science ones I didn't really think were that cool. The English programs like AP Language and all of that, I thought were, again, the bar is so low. There's no, if you're like a competent person, like if you think you're going to get challenged in the public school system, baby, that's not happening. Wars are only real to a grunt and his family, while leaders sip champagne. Yep, it's the people. The leaders don't obviously lift a pinky; they just have the sheep do it for them. Throne. What if I just found out I got a femboy bod and maybe gay-ish now? Where do I find other femboys in real life? Yo, hated, disgusted myself in my own head for a long time, but did a total 180. What the fuck, Rudolph? Are you okay? I love you so much. You can email me if you're confused, mrtheronebusiness@gmail.com. Um, you have a gay femboy bod. Like a twink? Are you a twink? Because if you are, there are a lot of people that are really into twinks and they love the whole femboy thing. So I don't know if you're partnered or if you're in a relationship, but maybe you're gay-ish now. Where do I find other femboys in real life? Rudolph, I think we should take that conversation more private. But I love you so much. I'm borderline retarded, and I still got in some of these classes. Yeah, the putting the label of AP in front of them doesn't really do much. It's just so you can take that test at the end of the year to get college credit, so that you can. Yeah, I think about it like even like pushing myself through high school and like doing all the AP stuff and getting all of these advanced credits for college. I literally did nothing because college, as we all know, is just a waste of time, money, and just hello brainwashing. Now it's student debt, unlearning all of the brainwashing, and it's like, why did I, stress myself out so much in my teenage years, to push myself to do something that not only did it have no payoff, but it was like wrong information. um I should have just taken it, I should have just did the bare minimum and then either got really into like agriculture classes or some other type of sort of more blue collar type thing. I should have just put all of my effort into that because, I mean, I don't know. Is anyone seeing success with their 4-year degree? Like, what do you do with a bachelor in science from like a libtard university? Like, there's nothing like, oh, you have a degree, like, oh, you're so cool. Like, I wish I would have I wish I would have fucking been the person taking gravity bongs out of the bathtub down the road and just like walking into class, because that person is probably like ages ahead of me. You know, I don't know. Okay, maybe lift a fucking weight. Kirk Chus, I don't know who you are, but I love you so much. Yeah, do you even lift, bro? Make sure you go to the gym or make sure you're active, everybody. Why am I like the only normal person in this chat? Jeremy, I don't know, but this is a freak show over here. You know this. Mike Floyd is back from showering. My friend Renee has been sleeping over. I hope you and Renee had a great shower, Mike Floyd. You come out of college trans. Yes, you come out of college with some sort of like weird sexual identity. You probably hate your Republican parents. You probably have some fucked haircut, and you have a lot of debt. Really not much. Yeah, college is a waste. Her parents kicked her out for being trans. I've been getting laid every morning and night. Mike Floyd, baby, all day, every day, baby. There was a time in my life where, oh no, we're saving that for some future time on Patreon, remember? But Mike Floyd, I'm so happy that you are happy and that you had a lovely shower with your trans friend. You look marvelous, Mike, and smell so sweet. KK Westbury, I love you. I have no idea what you're saying. Get a chemistry degree and get into a chemical plant. They plant awesome. Yeah, they pay awesome. Yeah, that's true. You can get some jobs with a degree, uh, but what are you doing in a chemical plant? Are you making some sort of no meat alternative, for some soy boy? Are you making some fertilizer to ruin some sort of farm? Are you like what do you do as a chemical in a chemical plant? I don't mind bleach. Like I love to bleach my bathroom. But what does like a chemical engineer do nowadays? Is it all about like making some like weird like plastic like synthetic type of like materials like I don't know. Like my degree's in biochemistry, and let me tell you, I have no interest in any of that stuff. But that's just me. Cassandra, hey girl, hey. Can't do much with a bachelor's anymore. I expect to go on for a professional degree nowadays. Yeah, unless you have like a master's or a PhD. Um, for a lot of those types of field, they don't really want anything less than that. Well, while at the same time, most jobs you really don't even need like a high school degree for. You just need to have like common sense and a good work ethic. Like when did those two as like the priority of job qualifications go out right out the window? Now it's you have to have like a master's, a PhD, you have to be a colored person, um, can't be white, you have to, all of these different qualifications when really like that's why maybe the world is just so incompetent right now. It's because these people do not have common sense. These people do not are not good workers, they're not hard workers, they're not reliable. It's just I don't really feel like going into the office today. I'm just gonna work from home. Yeah. Okay, hating Republicans is okay as long as it's for the correct reasons. Yeah, of course. It's more of like the hating the parents. I shouldn't have said Republican, but I think that pushes makes my point. Um, yeah, Republicans, the whole left right thing, we all know it's all anti-white at the end of the day. Um, Adam, I am your lovely assistant. What are you talking about? Where is Mike's Mars Venus conjunction? Ha ha ha. In a chemical plant, $40 an hour to drive a forklift. Yeah, and that is the state of masculinity nowadays. They can drive a forklift. They can drive skid steer. But all of the things that they're creating are ugly. They're irreversible. The damage on the environment. Their eyesores. These people. What they're creating is garbage. It's not interesting. It's just more of what we all hate so much. This is what the men are doing in 2022. All these construction men, all of these masculine, heterosexual men are out there, building a world that is so ugly. It's so ugly, and I don't have any like real respect for that type of work. These people are just boring to me. It's like a production line job. Yeah, I know. You don't even need to be an engineer. I have a degree in partying and holding my liquor. I am your. Oh my God. Okay, y'all are trying to find love in my channel live stream chat right now, and I am getting lonely. So I'm gonna leave. I love you all so much. Who was that one femboy? Rudolph, hit me up if you want some conversation. But otherwise, I think I will talk to you all soon. I love you so much. Bye.